hello there, friends, and welcome to my, not kitchen, but garden plan for 2023. Last year, Neil and I got really into gardening. We had a fantastic time, and this year we're getting even deeper into it. Or no, there's a pun there. We're digging in even deeper. Okay, it was really bad, but we are really excited. We're doing some really cool, fun stuff in the garden this year. We are expanding. We're trying some new things, and we have a major plan. So I wanted to chat with you, walk you through what we're planning on, but first, let me show you what we're working with. Oh, it is cold and rainy today. Great day to make a gardening video. Okay, I'm gonna walk you through the primary areas that we have that we're gonna be working with in 2023. So the first area is here on our porch. So we have two big buckets. These are actually half whiskey barrels. And these were our best tomato plants in here. So these are our key porch things. And then we have a larger terracotta pot there and a little herb bed here with just some miscellaneous pots and holders around here. Then going into the garden, we have a little walled off planter area there. We have our key growing area. Let me zoom in. It's super muddy, so I'm not going out there. We have two trellis areas on either side. We have three deep, again, half whiskey barrels, planters there, and then we have a litany of grow bags throughout. We also have this area here that used to be our fire pit, but we have been slowly taking that apart because we are putting in an 8x4 raised bed. For now, we're doing one. We might be doing another one in the future. Then alongside here, we just have some landscaping, some trees and bushes there. Over here, we have our compost area. And then under there, where the planter on the fences, we are going to be putting some more things down there to expand a little bit more. Let me show you what we're planning. So our garden actually starts here. We start a lot of what we grow from seed or direct sow because we like to do some heirloom seeds, stuff you can't really get in either a Lowe's or nursery center. So we have purchased this grow station. So it's pretty straight and to the point here. We have two grow lights under there. We have a heat mat. And then right now it's not doing much. It's warming up some propagations, and we're cooking some microgreens under there. But we will be starting most of our garden from seed, and we'll have our little seedlings here, and we're going to start them in just little pods like that and foster them until it's time to plant. So we have actually been garden planning for the past couple of months. That pretty much entails deciding what we do and do not want to plant in the garden, assessing what worked, what didn't work, what methods, again, worked and what didn't work, and then starting to acquire seeds. Now we have almost everything, so we're pretty much ready to go, but we have our final decisions on what we are and we are not planting, and we have our final decisions on where. So that is what I'm going to walk you through today. So this is our garden plan for 2023. Let me take you in here and we'll take you step by step through this. So this is gonna be our main growing area here. So we have our three planters with our trellises on either side, our grow bags, and our new raised bed here. So these three main beds and our two porch beds will be pretty identical. They are going to be comprised of one tomato plant and then companion plants. So those companion plants will be basil, marigolds, and onions. So over here, we're gonna have 3 big tomatoes. We're gonna do Cherokee purples, pineapple tomatoes, and green zebras. So here in the garden beds, we're gonna do Cherokee purple tomato. Then we are going to do our pineapple tomato. We did this last year and they were so delicious. We didn't really know what we were doing, so we only yielded about 5, but they're so good we have to try again. And then we are going to do our green zebra tomato. Now we've never grown these before, but we've gotten these at farmers markets and they're really good and really cool. On our porch tomato buckets, we are going to do San Marzano tomatoes and Arkansas Traveler tomatoes. So all told, we have a couple varieties of determinate and indeterminate tomatoes, and hopefully to have a much better yield this year. Now, before any of that though, we are doing some spring seasonings, so things that will go in as soon as possible in our beds here and on our trellises, and that we will be taking out. So what those are spinach. Here we have some oceanside spinach. That's gonna go on our raised bed here or on the corners. Same with the French breakfast radish. Again, we grew these last year. They were awesome. Not only are they beautiful, but they're a mild spice and we really enjoyed eating them. And some beets. I just have a gourmet blend here that we're gonna put along the sides over there. And then over here on the trellising, the trellises here have 2 stickers, and that's because we are starting with this. And then at the end of June, when these are being harvested, they are going to be replaced by the squash. So what we're starting with up here is the King Tut purple pea, which I'm very excited about. And then on our other trellis, we are doing Lillian's Caseload Garden peas. So then after those, we are putting in our squash, and our squash will be the sugar pie pumpkin going in after the green pea, and then the honey boat delicata up after the King Tut. Now, if you notice, we do have a lot of grow bags. First thing, we have pollinator grow bags, which are gonna grow some sunflowers. We have some really beautiful varieties, but I will cover those when we are going over flowers. But we also have a lot of vegetable grow bags. The new thing we are growing this year, which we've never grown before, are tomatillos. You can see them right up here. We're gonna have 4 tomatillo grow bags, 2 dedicated to the Chupon del Melanaco, which, I don't know, looks like a crazy variety. My husband's really excited about it. And then the classic Rio Grande Verde Tomatillo. Now, they need each other to pollinate, so they are going to stay close together to hopefully get a higher yield there. Going down, we have some peppers, Poblano, Anaheim, and Shishito. The Poblano did not produce very much for us last year, kind of similar to the Anaheim, although we did get more Anaheim than Poblano. But what I am most excited about is the Shishito. I know they're very popular right now. I'm excited to grow that mild pepper. And then again, I just hope we get better yields out of the Poblano and Anaheims, because I do use those a ton in cooking. I prefer them over bell peppers, and I would love to produce more. Next up, we have our chilies. Now, we're not the spiciest of folk here, but chilies are super awesome. So let me walk you through those. First, let me go ahead and show you our seeds. So these are mostly on theme from Baker Creek. So this is our Poblano seeds. We've got our Anaheim and our Shishito there. Next, we have the Sugar Rush Peach Chili. We grew this for the first time last year, and it was awesome. It was spicy, but it was so good and so unique. We loved it so much that we're gonna try a less spicy variety called the Sugar Rush Cream pepper. So this is gonna be white, a little less spicy, but still some kick, and hopefully some of that awesome texture or awesome flavor that the Sugar Rush peach has. And then finally, we're doing jalapenos. We're doing Craig's Grande Jalapeno. We did the same last year. It was a good producer for us. And hopefully we're just gonna get some bigger jalapenos. And then you'll see in several places around our garden, we are intentionally having full pots, full areas, and planning for our pollinators. So around here at the edge of each garden, we're gonna have salvias, marigolds, sunflowers, and then over there in the bed are nasturtiums. So we had these last year. They brought in a lot of pollinators, and so we're just kind of gonna roll with what we already know is successful. So let me show you the varieties that we're gonna be planting. So for marigolds, we've got the Gypsy Sunshine. The nasturtium, we're gonna go with the Alaska Mix. Since we are gonna be planting a lot of marigold, we're gonna do a few varieties. This is another one that I thought was awesome. This is the Colossus Red Gold Bicolor. And then the favorite blend. Honestly, like, we're gonna be doing a lot, so we just wanted to diversify a little bit. The sunflowers, we're gonna do 3, and it's just gonna kind of be random. We're gonna do the Autumn Beauty, the Lemon Queen, and something I'm so excited for is the Hopi Black Dye, or the Hopi Black Dye. I don't know how it's pronounced. But I want to try doing some natural dyeing with these and then the marigolds. So I'm really excited for not only this to help with pollinators, but to potentially do some natural dyeing. And that brings us to my beautiful 3 sisters bed that I am planning this year. Now we are putting in 8x4 bed here. So this is the layout I'm gonna go with. In the center too, now this is square feet here. So this is a foot by foot block. In the center, I'm gonna have my rows of corn. They are gonna be spaced out using a pretty standard method here. So this is gonna be a diamond and this is gonna be a square, so everyone is spaced out. We are gonna have 2 beans per 1 corn. So it's gonna be a lot of beans. Over here we have a little ticker where we're gonna have well, this is for our seeds, right? We need 128 corn, 128 beans, 4 squash, and 4 flowers. So in this bed, first again, we're starting with our spring crop. So along the edges, we're doing some early spring crop, some radish, spinach, beets, etc. And then we're starting with our first sister, right? We're starting with our corn. The varieties of corn we are going to do: True Gold, Honey and Cream, and then we're gonna experiment with grain corn and go with the Atomic Orange corn that I'm so excited about. So it'll probably be a 1/3, 2/3 of like sweet corn and grain corn here. Very, very excited. I wanted to make sure that they were very close together because again, corn needs to be close together to pollinate, similar to over here the tomatillos. So again, there's gonna be a lot of beans in here and I'm gonna have 3 different kinds. We are gonna go with the Cherokee black bean here, the Christmas pole lima bean, and then right in the middle, I don't have the seeds yet, but it's gonna be the Kentucky Wonder Bean, solid green bean there. Now that is the first 2 sisters. So we have corn, so we have the corn, which is the first sister, and then the beans, and now we need our squash. So we are gonna do 3 types of squash in here. We are gonna do the Waltham butternut. That was a great producer for us last year. We got about 18 butternut squash. It was awesome. And then we are gonna do sweet nut acorns here. What's awesome is that the seeds that these produce are pepitas, which I cook and eat a lot. So I'm very excited to have my own pepitas. And then in the middle on the sides here, we're gonna put in a hybrid variety of cucumber that is going to be more pest resistant. I do make a ton of pickles, but I've been very timid about growing cucumbers because pests just freaking love them. So we are gonna try some cucumbers this year to see if we can get some and use them for our homemade pickles. And then around is the fourth sister, are the sunflowers to bring in some of those good pollinators. But this bed I am ridiculously excited about because most of this is new to me growing. It's a new method of growing as well, in a new 8x4 bed that we are putting in. So a lot of excitement around this. And finally, the last new thing we have over here, we are starting to grow the humble potato. Now, this is a passion project of mine. Neil was kind of against it because we're already doing a lot of new things, and that's not true, but you might as well go on in, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna be growing 4 different kinds of potatoes in grow bags because honestly, this is kind of gonna be an experiment for us. We're not gonna get these starts until like end of February. We're gonna do German Butterball, which is like a Yukon Gold potato, a red Pontiac, which is a really good producing red potato. We're gonna do a Burbank russet potato, and then a Russian banana fingerling potato. Okay, I might be like way too blurry. I don't know how influencers do this and work with a ring light, but like, we're figuring it out. Okay, but so that is like the walkthrough of the main potatoes of our garden. I am gonna be growing a lot of herbs, but those can be grown in pots, kind of like prettily all throughout, on our back porch, on our front porch, wherever. So our herbs are gonna be throughout. The main thing is that I need to grow a lot more dill and a lot more like rosemary. I needed to do that a lot. But another very exciting thing that we are gonna be doing this year in the garden is we are going to be tracking, weighing, and estimating on how much money our garden is making us, right? So we put together an Excel sheet. This is just like a little part of it. We started off doing this. We put in everything that we are growing, if it's gonna be direct sow or when we need to start the seed. Then it goes into when we need to transplant it, so when we need to plant it outside. We also added the days to maturity and then when to expect our first harvest. So we did this for everything that we are growing. We're also gonna track when our actual first harvest is, just to see how accurate we were. It's not just we, right? It's like us and like the almanac and shit like that. What we did is we added a couple of columns over here of how many pounds or how many ounces, grams, etc. of what we've grown that we harvested. And then at the end of the year, I'm gonna do like a grocery store approximation, right? So if we grow 30 pounds of potatoes, how expensive is that at the grocery store? Or 20 pounds of heirloom tomatoes, how expensive is that? And how much money did we save, right? How much money did we grow? I'm very excited about it. So a lot is going on here. We still have a couple of weeks until we start our seeds inside. In the meantime, we are getting our sea legs of making microgreens, which has been really fun. I'm gonna make a separate video about that. But yeah, we are very excited. It's gonna be a big gardening season. It's gonna be a lot of lessons for us because we're growing a lot more staple crops like corn, beans, potatoes, etc. Whereas last year we were just getting our feet wet. So it was just, hey, that's cool, let's put it in our garden. We're being a lot more intentional with pollinators. We're being a lot more intentional with companion planting. And yeah, I am just waiting with bated breath. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm gonna be making a couple more. Again, how to grow microgreens. I also do a lot of preserving and canning. So I'm gonna do a video about what I will and will not be canning again, and then kind of do like a cantery update of like what we've really dug into and yeah. So enjoy. I hope you guys liked this video. Again, we're at the very start of gardening season. So I'm going to take you guys throughout the year so you guys can see how this progresses. So, and I'll see you guys back in the kitchen.